times are powerful portals for you to set positive intent for the path ahead. And to help you to take better advantage of that, I'm making all of my Eclipse consultations available at a 15% discount using the code Eclipse at the link above. What good is it really going to do for you to blame yourself for past decisions? We often fall prone to going, well, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have gone in that particular direction. But, really, truth be known, if you look beneath the surface, you'd likely find that there's not really any such thing as a mistake. There's just a decision that you made at a specific moment in time, most likely with the best of intents, and it went in a direction that led you down a pathway that you're ultimately not happy with. But who's to say if you would have, at that particular juncture when you made that decision, if you would have made another choice, who's to say you would have felt better about that particular outcome? Quite often, we pick a direction because it just feels completely aligned with us at a particular moment in time, only to find out it doesn't fit for us further on down the road. So, you can do a couple of different things at that particular point. If you really want to, you can make a rod for your own back and give yourself a hard time and go, oh, that was really stupid of me. But all that's going to do is give you a lot of negative self-esteem, which isn't really going to help you with the path ahead either, right? You can get really disenchanted and feel down with yourself on a certain level because you felt again that you made a wrong choice and it led to your dissatisfaction. But you also have another alternative, which is recognizing that life is ultimately just about evolution. What feels right at one particular moment in time may not feel right in another, because ideally we grow, we change, we experience things in one moment that feel one way, and next thing you know, we no longer feel that way. So it seems like the best you can really do is make the best choice in the moment that feels positively aligned with where you are in that particular moment and accept the outcome. But we don't have such an easy time doing that. Sometimes, rather than seeing ourselves as our own best friend, we like to think of ourselves as our own worst enemy. Or sometimes, in even worse situations, place the blame upon somebody else rather than going, this was my choice, this was my decision, I can live with it, it led to this outcome. But again, who's to say that it would not have led to another? This particular solar eclipse, which takes place on the 14th of October, is going to take place in Chitra Nakshatra. We're going to have the south node, the sun and the moon, because solar eclipses always happen on a new moon, and Mercury, all aligned in Chitra Nakshatra. Chitra is connected to the bright star Spica, and there is generally a process which happens with Chitra where things seem extremely alluring. Look at the bright, shiny object. I don't know if that's Spica or not. It's just a star background that I chose, right? But things seem particularly alluring. And we get pulled in a direction and ultimately begin to feel somewhere down the line that, well, this shiny object that pulled me in this direction isn't really so shiny anymore. And so we start looking for the next shiniest object. Now, the only problem with this particular eclipse cycle, is this solar eclipse is forming a tense aspect with Pluto. So you're dealing on one level or another with a really intense choice that you're feeling that you have to make. And you're likely feeling the pressure of that decision. And with Pluto being in Shravana, one of the things that happens with that is you're likely going to see a multitude of paths that you could go down. But because of the pressure of the situation that you're dealing with, you're going to go, well, I'm not happy where I am. But since I made so many stupid decisions in the past, I'm not sure if that's a good direction. I'm not sure if that's a good direction. I'm not sure if that's a good direction. And you can sit there facing all of your choices and be as perplexed as a billion-piece puzzle with half a dozen pieces missing. Or you can stop looking for the missing pieces. You can stop seeing all those paths that are in front of you as somehow being different and recognize that the best opportunity that you have at this particular moment in time isn't out there down that path, that path, that path, that path, or any of those paths. It's down this path, right? Because we can only live with our heart in any specific moment in time. Now, heart, what the hell is a heart beside that thing that, beats in your chest? That's not what I'm talking about. Nor am I talking about your emotions. I'm talking about your ethics. I'm talking about your inspiration. I'm talking about your motor, your engine, the thing that drives you. Not up here, but here, what you're naturally motivated towards. What feels like the most innocent of choices if you purely and naturally act in regards to a situation based upon your own individual belief systems. Now, it's easier to say heart than it is to say that large conglomeration of things. So that's what I mean by that. So really, on a certain level, you can get confused by those choices, but the ultimate decision lies within here. But the problem that you're dealing with at the present moment in time is you connected with that earlier, and now you're dealing with this. You're not happy with this, and you're somehow blaming this present situation on that past moment. When in reality, that past moment isn't to blame. You're not to blame. Nobody's to blame. Instead, it's about accepting responsibility for who you are and where you are in this specific moment in time and navigating the best way forward for yourself. And if this decision involves other people, for those other people that aren't involved. Don't be so petty with personal problems, placing the blame on somebody else. Accept responsibility for your decisions inside of you. Don't blame yourself for them. Be happy with them. Be at peace with them and work with the best option you have in the moment that feels absolutely aligned with exactly who you are. Now, that's easier said than done. So if you could use a little bit of help with that process, just a reminder that my eclipse consultations, which take a look at the solar eclipse of the 14th of October in relation to your personal horoscope, as well as the lunar eclipse, which takes place overnight on the 28th to the 29th of October, both in relation to your personal horoscope and helps you to plan the next several months ahead, because eclipses don't always bring change at the moment of the actual eclipse. Their effects are far-reaching, and they're like a portal that opens the gateway for us to the next 6 months of our year. And I'd like to help you with that. Simply use the discount code ECLIPSE to get a 15% discount on the eclipse consultations that you're going to see at the link above. That's going to do it for this look at the solar eclipse in Chitra Nakshatra, which takes place on the 14th of October, 2023. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.